Hey guys, Sandy here, and I'm back for my second layout with my kit from Citrus Twist. Now I wanted to coordinate with the other layout that I just completed because it is 2 more photos of the Lego castle that I put together all by myself. Now I want it to coordinate, so I'm going to use some of the same papers, but it's not going to be like a 2-page spread. So let's see what I can do.
Alright, so I'm using the same mists that I used on the previous layout. So that's the yellow Heidi Swap and they call it yellow Maya Road, but it comes out orange, and the denim blue glitter mist. And I don't want to dry it, so I just used my roll of paper towels to dry it off, and also to dry any of the splatter that is down on my mat. And that is why my mat is looks dirty, because I don't clean up my splatters or my glitter or anything right away. It just kind of sits there and it leaves stuff behind. So that's the way it is. Now this one I did decide to dry it just a little bit, just because it was a little bit too damp to be putting paper on top of it. But it's literally just a tiny amount. I'm going to go ahead and use the paper that I have left. Now remember, this is the same paper that I used on the previous layout. And I'm just going to put that on the page. And I'm thinking, do I want to use this pink herringbone down here? And I'm like, no, because then that covers up too much of the glitter that's peeking through. And I'm just trying to figure out like what I want to do with it. So I decide, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kind of do what I did on the other page and just put a thick piece of the floral paper up at the top. Now, for some reason, this page does not make me as uncomfortable with the white as the other page did. And I think it might be because there is more white space. But I'm not exactly sure. See, this one isn't making me uncomfortable like the last one did, and I'm not exactly sure why. Who knows? So I grab a border punch, and it is a Fisker's border punch, and I'm just going to use this honey oak paper, and I'm going to punch it out and place it underneath of that pretty navy blue paper. And then I'm just going to cut a little strip of it just to bring it up to the top as well, just so that I have it in both places. Now this time I am going to mat my photos onto one photo mat, and I start that out by pulling out some orange. And the orange matches the centers of the pink flowers pretty well, and I think this is going to be cool, and I do it. Now what happens is, I don't know if the photos were printed and they weren't exactly square, or if it was my cutting abilities, but I end up trimming the photo and the paper down to make a better shaped rectangle. And I'm going to pull the title details, and I'm using details for the title because it coordinates with the title that I used on the other page. So I know that that is going to go up there, but I'm not exactly sure what to do with it yet. So I go off to the side and find another piece of paper to mat my photos on. And I mat it on this Anna Griffin paper, and I am surprised at how old it is, so I throw it up there so you can see it, and it's from 2003, and I have multiple sheets of this, so maybe I need to get some of that used up. You can't really see like the swirly curly Q pattern underneath of it, but you do see that it is a pink, and it's a pretty good color match for the pink that is on the navy blue floral paper. So now I just need to build up the title area up on the top of the page, and I'm using this circle die cut that says remember this day, and now I'm ready to put on details. And I gotta say, I really like the stickers that are on clear backing paper, that you can kind of like see exactly where it goes. Really like those much better than the white backing paper, I gotta say. So I'm going to go ahead and get details right down there on the page, and it is hanging off ever so slightly off of that pink and white herringbone paper. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel like the letters are falling off the page or anything because they're so on top of that pink and white herringbone paper. If I had, say, put like the top of the letter over the bottom edge of that paper, it would have looked weird. Now, I was going to use this yellow arrow that came in the die cut pack, but I decided to pull back out my Studio Calico cork arrows and place that up at the top there just because I have the cork arrows on the other page, and like I said, I want it to coordinate. I'm using these puffy stars from the Carousel puffy sticker sheet, and I really like them. So I'm going to go ahead and place those around, and they are on the other page as well. And I'm thinking about using this tag, and the reason why I pulled out this tag is because it coordinates with the paper. However, I decide later on not to use that tag. I'm actually going to use the other half of the tag that I used on the first page. And I'm using some more of those pink Fresh Studio phrase stickers from Boys Fort. And I'm just going to trim it down so it fits on the tab as well. Now, it is a big win for me to use stuff from my stash with my kit each month, especially, I would say, more so with my Secret Not Secret Kit Club like that. I really love to pull in stash. My Citrus Twist kit I like to use mostly Citrus Twist and pull in a few things. And then, obviously, as I get farther and farther through my kit, pull in more and more. And I don't know why that is. That might be a mental thing as well, where it's some sort of set way in my mind, and I have no real good reason for it other than that's just the way it flows in my mind. So I really like these push pin die cuts, like these thumbtack die cuts. I think that they're super cool, and I use it up here at the title block, and I am going to add a little bit of shimmer to it because everybody needs a little shimmer. And I'm just pulling various stickers and bits from the kit and just trying to like place it around the page and figure out where I want the pretties to go on the page, because it is the Disney Lego Castle. It is Cinderella Castle, and it makes me so happy. So happy. Okay, so I've got the title block pretty much finished, but I'm thinking there needs to be something. There needs to connect that title block to the photos, because that star is kind of just like hanging out there. And instead of me moving the star up or around so that it's not, I decide I need to use the cut apart sheet and build something there so that it connects. And I end up using the cut apart sheet that says Good Time, and it's in that great navy blue paper. And I just nestle that in the little edge there next to the tab, and I'm happy with it. Like, that poor little star is just over there all on its own, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do to connect it a little bit better. So I decide to move the star over and overlap it on Good Time. And it's still making a triangle with the other stars, so it's totally good. Now I decide to stop messing around with that so much and then go into the cut apart sheet again, and I cut out the tag, and I believe the tag says Gather, but I'm going to change that. I use some Scattered Straw Distress ink to just ink around the edges of the tag, just because it was, again, I don't know exactly what it was. It kind of felt like it was lost right there. So I just inked around the edges, and I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I want this tag to go and where I want these 4 hearts that are one sticker that look layered to go. And I'm thinking I gotta find something to cover up Gather, because it's not really about gathering anything. It's kind of, not at all. But I find the word awesomeness, and I'm going to cover up nests and just leave it as awesome. and that works for me, and that is awesome. So I get that on there, and I'm super happy with it. I'm thinking that it's layering up nicely, like it's gonna be good, and I'm trying to figure out what else I can do to add to this to give it a fun, something fun. Like it can't just be this little tag hanging off the side of the picture, because that to me looks like it's gonna fall off the page. Like it's like, hello, what are you doing? So I am cutting out some bits just to build up this left lower corner to give it some fun. And I'm going to find a cork piece that says "Nothing Beats This," and the gray cut apart that says "This is a true story." And I'm just going to mess around with this and figure out the best way to get it layered up down here, and where I want it to go, and where everything just needs to be, basically. And I just mess around with it until it looks good to me. Like, I like where things nestle against each other, or the layers are on top of each other and kind of offset just a little bit so they aren't completely square on top of one another. And that makes me happy. Like, getting this on the page and finished makes me happy. So I decide to use another push pin or thumbtack, whatever you want to call it, down here, because I really like them. Like, I really like them. I don't know what it is about that die cut, but it just really makes me happy. So I figure if one makes me happy, two's going to make me stupid happy. So I get that on there. And I'm just, still kind of messing around, trying to figure out what I can put on here, what can fill the space. Just trying to figure out where everything will go, like, to make me happy. All right, and I get that down. I'm like, all right, we're cooking with gas now. And I'm liking the way it's coming together. Like, I'm liking these little clustery bits where some parts are overlapped and some parts are not. Like, I'm enjoying the whole look and feel of that. And I'm thinking and drinking some iced tea, because, iced tea is wonderful. And I pull out that black and white bow. It's kind of just sitting on my desk right now because that came in last month's kit as well, and I haven't used it yet. I'm going to have to, though, because I love the bow. It's cool as anything, and I just haven't found anything to go with it. So what I do is I go into my stash and I pick out my washi tape booklet from Paige Evans's Turn the Page collection. And I have these stars. So I pull off 3 stars and I put them down here at the bottom and just kind of layer it up a little bit. And I cut off 3 more stars off of it and layer it at the top, just so that I have that continuity that it's on the top and the bottom. Now, these stars are not on the other page, but that is okay because this is not a spread. This is a coordinating page. If it was a spread, I would have much more continuity than what I have now. Although there is a ton of continuity, there is stamping and stars on this layout and none on the other ones, or the other one. I use my Lawn Fawn gray and white twine, and I just go ahead and tie up a cute little bow and use a Zot and plop that down right there. Now, I really like using the small Zots for holding down bows, and sometimes I hold down sequins and other things. Now, I know that they make a really tiny Zot to hold down sequins. I don't have those, but I have boxes and boxes of small Zots back when I thought that was going to be my regular adhesive of choice. So I will have to break through those before I start buying the teeny little ones. Okay, and this is where I decide that I'm going to stamp, and I'm just checking to see if what I want it to use. And I decided to go with fairy dust because I think of Disney and fairy dust and all that kind of good stuff. Use my Stays On, and I just go ahead and stamp it on the back of a part of that tag that I cut apart, just to see how well it's stamped. And it stamps pretty well, and I just triple stamp it so that it's darkest at the top and lighter at the bottom. And I do that in 2 places, up at the top and at the bottom. And I'm happy with it. I'm pushing down those puffy stickers just a little bit because they do seem to be wanting to pop up. And here's where I grab that great shimmer pen, glitter pen, glimmer pen. I don't even know what is it. I'm going to have to look it up so that I am calling it the right thing. All I know is that it's made by Spectrum Noir and it likes to glitter things up. So I'm going to write some journaling, and it says the Lego set was huge. There were over 4,000 pieces in 14 different bags. The instruction book was about an inch thick. It took me a few well-spent hours at the dining room table to complete this beauty. It now sits on our entryway niche at the front door. And there it is. Thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit like if you like this video. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to chat, and I will catch you guys soon.